Welcome, everyone, to Cinema Dopes. I am the referee, Derk, and today I have joined with me on this corner, heavyweight boxing champion, Cade. How are you, Cade?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Thank you very
Great.
much. Where am I?
Uh, I don't know where we are, in the void. And
Oh,
in this other corner, I have not heavyweight championship boxing.
you suck. You
Seth.
have no
I
talent.
will fucking kill you! I fucking kill you!
What?
Fuck you! I will break you, you motherfucker! I will come over there. I'm gonna make your face even more fucked up than I already was. I will fucking kill. Okay, how we doing, everybody? I think we already got our video age restricted, and I take full responsibility for that.
No, it's all right.
We'll pad out the first minute, and we'll just have like jokes just so we get past that point.
It's all right. We'll just say it's not made for kids, and we have the intro in the beginning. Remember? So it's already like what, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, or we could just censor over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can tell by my preamble, today we watched Creed 2 in our Ryan Coogler series in prep for Sinners, which is kind of ironic because he didn't direct this one, but he was executive producer, so
Yes.
that does kind of still count.
We were just so hyped to watch this over Black Panther that we just went with this instead.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm glad because I still really love this movie. Honestly, I think I might love it even more just rewatching it this time.
Mm.
It was such a good time. Really, it was actually a really fantastic movie, and it like for a sequel,
It's not bad.
for a sequel, like they handled a new problem, they made it fresh, and I appreciate having not scared to go back to the original films because I think of how we previously stated, they were ridiculous, like even at that point. And it's just like, no, Ivan's fully back, his son's fully back.
Yeah.
Well, his son is here, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna literally fucking kill you.
I always appreciate legacy franchises when they're not afraid to go back to stuff that wasn't received the warmest from their franchise, but like they'll still accept it regardless, and I just have so much respect for that, really.
I feel like that's what saves it, because it's like they're owning up to the mistakes.
The only thing they're not owning up to yet, and I haven't seen Creed 3, so I don't know, is the robot. What happened to that?
One day.
I'm
holding hope for it.
You telling me it doesn't show up in Creed 3?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't think it does.
You would remember if the robot showed up in Creed 3.
I would have. So yeah, here's hoping to Creed 4. Please bring the robot back. I'm begging.
Happy birthday, Donnie. Happy birthday, Donnie.
You're gonna get Jonathan Majors again. Deal with it.
Clubber Lang's nephew.
He's just automatically good at boxing.
He is the best.
It's gonna be Thunderlips 2. And it's gonna come back. It's gonna be Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan just doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah, he gets knocked down in the first round.
That doesn't work for him, brother. But yeah, Creed 2. Once previously stated, really good time.
Yeah.
I think I like it on the same level as the first one, honestly, with the highs of it, because I feel like the fighting was maybe a bit more exciting in the first one, but I think that's just from like the first time we seen it and having so little time between to digest both. I feel like the fights are a bit the same, but I still think for what they were having in the sequel, I feel like they handled it in the most mature way possible. And again, I just love how it's kind of like history repeating itself with Rocky 2, but I feel like with Rocky 2, it's more of the family dilemma, because we get essentially Rocky's first defeat in Rocky 3, so it's kind of a mix of 2 and 3 being put together.
Well, no, not his first defeat. Well, I guess first defeat in regarding like a big high, because remember he lost in the very first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he technically lost in the first movie, but
when
he lost in the first one too.
Yeah, that's but what I get what you're trying to say. Like when Adonis is at like the highest he's at, this is the most devastating loss he could get. Kind of like with Rocky and
Yeah.
Rocky 3. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um. See, I like Creed 1 a lot more than this movie, but that's probably because of personal bias more than the actual film of itself. Because in my whole spiel of last week with the first Creed movie and how like important to me that film is, this movie is it's just it's pretty good. There are things in it I'm just like that's okay. Like I'm just not like there are things I'm just not a huge fan of. Like just the idea of bringing back Drago's son is just or bringing in Drago's son and bringing back Ivan Drago. It's a little goofy, but like I like the
Yeah, but
idea that what they did with it.
Yeah, but like going through it, like even then, like this is like probably the most fan fiction-y ever plot you could get for a Creed movie. But I
Right.
feel like they do handle it in a good way, especially with showing like the changing of the times and just like Russia's ideology of defeat, and even like Victor Drago just going through like they fucking abandon you for losing, like.
Mm-hmm.
And it does come around, like we'll get to it later, but it does come around for like evolving Ivan as a character, and I think Ivan's really good of just being like, yeah, I lost everything
Yeah.
from taking everything from you, Rocky, and I want revenge still.
Yeah, and I
And he
kind of
gets
feel
it.
I feel like the Creed sub franchise had to eventually do this anyway, because I mean, like,
Yeah.
Drago's the one who kills Apollo anyway, so like I feel like no matter what, we were gonna get to this point, and I think they just like
Maybe.
got it over with the second movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, how do you artificially up the stakes in for a Creed sequel? Well, you just do Ivan's son, and how do you up the stakes in the third movie? Well, you get a fucking monster like Jonathan Majors to be
Mm.
intimidating as shit. But yeah, so starting off, really good start in immediately in the movie, him taking down like his first like his first pretty much loss
hmm.
for the person who humbled him so bad in the
Yeah.
first movie. So you get that slate like wiped so clean at first. Like there was literally no obstacle in his way moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And he wins a championship from that, correct?
Yes, he
Yeah, I
wins the
think so.
championship from that. But like I like how they did it where it felt easy. And they very much make it like this guy is not in his prime anymore. It's like in Cars 3 when Lightning McQueen just gets absolutely dumpstered by the new guy on the block.
X and Storm. How
Thank
do I
you.
remember his
of course
name?
you
I,
know the name.
I don't know how I remember the name, but I do.
But like he just like he gets like beat because he's gotten old, he's gotten slow, and like they made him and Adonis kind of don't look that far apart in age, but I guess it's just the wear and tear of boxing hit him harder than it would with someone with like Adonis. So he
Time is
just
undefeated.
yeah, exactly.
I think the beginning of the movie does a really good job of establishing like what is gonna be like the status quo and like the stakes of the movie, because it's like
It's what's gonna be challenged.
Yeah.
like you have that opening scene where like we see where Adonis is in like in his boxing career, and then that's followed with yeah, like we see the return of Ivan and his son, and then the whole like thing about him getting
Mhm.
married. It's like I think like
And,
the 1-2 punch of everything at the beginning kind of just establishes like where we're gonna be in this movie.
Yeah.
And like Bianca, having like her entire future set ahead of her, like gang record deals and everything, and being very excited, and then just circumstances and past just coming back to completely like change the entire ideology of how Creed sees things. And I
Mhm.
feel like it's a good like look back at Creed just still having a lot of insecurities about himself and what he thinks he should do for himself, but
That's a good way.
jumping way too easy into it when this is something you should really confront on your own with a lot of
Mhm.
like prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to build upon the character from the first movie, because like now it's like now he's faced with these obstacles that he has to get over in this new movie, and I think it just makes him like a lot more interesting. Like how is he gonna get through this? Especially with like how personal the whole conflict between him and Drago and his son is, just because like yeah, that's the dude that killed my freaking father.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like
My father.
it's great too because Victor, I think for as little like dialogue he has, I feel like you already get the point of like Ivan kind of used him as a vessel for like no yeah, Ivan used Victor as a vessel for like his frustrations to air out like any issues that he had with Rocky.
Mhm.
And like you can kind of see that like Victor's just kind of going through the motions of like, yeah, it's your destiny to be Creed, like it's your best destiny to be the best, but like already like you be Creed, and that's kind of like the only thing you're kind of set out for. You don't really have a game plan other than I must fight Creed again.
Yeah.
Because the statement was already made in the first fight, but now it's like now I want to come for the title. Like he can't like really think of anything else except for just demolishing Creed finally, because they got
Yeah.
a little too eager in that the first round and he got disqualified because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I want to discuss the first fight and just how it's handled and shot, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just such a good, again, like humble, like reality check of like how outclassed you are. And I do
Mhm.
like the hints that you get of just showing how outclassed he is.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
he already like he has a falling out with Rocky, who Rocky's just scared because he feels like he's just jumping way too into this and like not really taking the fight seriously, because Donnie thinks he's on top of the world and he's just another guy that like I think he's just thinking he could just get through him like everything else beforehand,
Yeah.
like by not really thinking about it.
You know what
But
also what I love about that fight too is that we don't get that fight until like 50 minutes into the movie. Because like the
Yeah.
so it
first like hour of the movie is like solely dedicated to the characters and just like following like where they've been since the last one. So I think
Yeah.
that was like really cool. Like we don't get this fight until like way later in the movie.
And when you and I love that too because it builds suspense of just how hard he's gonna get dumpstered
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
like so fast, and you get these little hints of just like him trying to confront Victor, and like Victor pushing him, and he goes like maybe 6 feet back, and you just like know deep down like he is so outmatched
Dude,
in this fight.
even like when they were doing the press conference and they wanted to start the fight early, especially like when Victor full on pushed Adonis back, he was like, "Uh oh." Like you see on his face,
Like he
he's like,
stopped for a
"Uh oh."
second. He was not ready for round two. He stopped. Is like, we can do this now. I'll fight you. Like he's trying to get like his confidence back. But like
Yeah.
I felt like ever since that push, he was like kind of out of his element.
Mhm.
And it kind of shows how stubborn he is just to try to get the fight over with, and just thinking if I can just go by myself with any trainer, I could be fine.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen. Like,
No.
cause I feel like with his mind being out of it, it's like he's rushing so fast to get this over with, like that becomes his detriment in showing like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like you need to confront your demons. You need to
Mhm.
confront like the fact that the person you killed your father is like right there, and he is not going away until you like really set him off or like send him off.
I had a nickel for every time a Creed tried to just push past a fight like it was nothing against a Russian man. I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
This is the part where we retire that phrase. That is like the third episode where you said that, and I am officially putting that down.
Gotta have rule of three. Rule of three.
And
But
that's final.
yes.
I will say though, I was very distracted by all the Jersey Mike's advertising during these matches
Yeah,
in the
there's a
It's
movie.
lot
a
of juicy
boxing match. It's
bites.
a boxing match. What you gonna do?
But the fact that the first fight is at the MGM Grant was so
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah,
Because
but that's literally
immediately,
where like the biggest boxing matches are. That is a
That,
boxing staple.
I
that's where
guess,
the when they make the next James Bond movie, that's where the opening scene's gonna take place at the
the
MGM
MGM
Grand.
Grant. This
This
gonna
is MGM. We're making these movies. We own these movies. We're gonna sell them for $5 in your local Walmart bargain bin.
buy
MGM.
them, please.
We only have Skyfall and Rocky. That's
Also,
all we have to fall off on.
this movie is also very obsessed with ribs. Like Victor goes for the ribs like so many times in this movie. Like you could hear the crunch.
It's crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's his like specialty. I guess
Yeah.
I think with all the regulations that have been going on, he can't like he just since everything's gone woke nowadays, you can't just murder a person by giving them a concussion in the ring.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
What happened to the real
What
fighting?
happened to Valor? What happened to bare knuckle rules? What happened to street rules?
Street rules, man.
Stand by for my arrival. But yeah, so just a lot of stuff is just really well balanced in the movie, especially of like the ongoing like conflict of like he's gonna be a parent and they're dealing with
Yes.
the uncertainties of just like what if this one's gonna be deaf? What if they're gonna have a troubled life because of me? What if I'm gonna like die in that ring just like my father did?
Yeah.
And that's the turmoil we go through of just like in the first movie it was essentially like trying to outgrow and try to go past your father's name and really trying to break out on your own
Hmm.
without that. And this one is like confronting like the future and like maybe you are gonna be your father and not trying to repeat the steps of what you were.
Hmm.
Because Adonis wasn't even born when Apollo died. Like
Yep.
he never like Apollo didn't even know Adonis was gonna exist.
Yeah.
So just trying to avoid the trouble that that caused for Adonis and trying to not do the same for his daughter. Which what happened first? Did he call the fight before or after the announcement happened? I think it was before, right?
Yeah, it was before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So now he
they
like
didn't find out that Bianca was pregnant until they got to LA. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
You have that
So
a little bit of comedy there with the mom being like, "Oh, we're about to tell her about this fight." It's like, "Yeah, but Bianca's pregnant, right?" He's like, "What? No."
I think it was that Bianca had the record deal. No, that they're engaged.
It was a combination of things. It was the record deal. Well, Adonis never told his mother about Bianca having the record deal, so that was just a little thing added on. But I think what he was going to talk about was mainly the fight and that maybe they're engaged if he hasn't already. But I
Yeah.
mean,
It
she
starts
kind of
off with the engagement, so it's like them pushing for like, yeah, I want to take the next big step, but not as big as having a child.
right.
Like it's like them wanting to really take like move on and really
Mm-hmm.
become like an evolved person, especially with Bianca, who's been absolutely fantastic for Donnie.
Yeah.
But not even like the child, but it is a shame how like that fight really messed him up in terms of like learning to appreciate what he has. Because it feels like the entire like pregnancy for him like kind of flew by because he was just super distant the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And that added a tinge of sadness to everything and just realizing like you are not the best. He is out there and he will drop you again if you're not careful.
Yeah.
What is your favorite scene from this movie?
Favorite scene. Well, Derek, you go first.
um, there was one scene that trying to think that I really
I
liked.
think the hospital
Um,
scene is really good.
the hospital scene is very good.
Mhm.
When the daughter's born and they do the test to like see if she
Is
Mm.
like
deaf,
is deaf,
yeah.
like that scene is very well made because there's like
That
barely
is
any dialogue and it's like all through Tessa Thompson and Michael B. Jordan's performance. That like
that
that
is
scene is
so
sold.
good and just like you don't need to see the screen or the results. You could just read it off their face and you never
Yeah.
see scenes like that of them testing a baby. Like and the baby's fine. It's not going through any complications or anything, but it's just the fact of like just knowing that your child's going to be like disadvantaged. I mean to say like throughout
Deaf.
the yeah, but I know deaf, but it's gonna be like it's gonna have trouble. I'm kind of trying to keep it broad, Cade.
I mean, like, how there's some things that you can tiptoe around, but no, it's just like no, they're worried about her not being able to hear, just like Bianca's slowly losing her hearing. So like that's
Yeah.
just yeah.
I don't want to jump too ahead, but I do have to say that in the third movie, I think the young actor who plays the daughter does a great job. I think like any
Yeah.
child actor that like plays a deaf character, well, I mean obviously she is like deaf in real life, but yeah, she was really great in the third
Mm-hmm.
movie, honestly.
Mm.
Nice.
I can't wait till we we're not gonna get to the third movie obviously this month, but
Not yeah, not
I would like to watch Creed 3 in my own time, maybe
yeah.
hopefully.
Maybe when Creed
Yeah.
4 finally gets announced, we'll come
Yeah.
back to the Rocky franchise.
But yeah, I do think the hospital scene between Donnie and Rocky is really good. Of just like, because it's not really an "I told you so" moment. It's like Rocky really trying so hard to like soften the blow.
Yeah.
Of just like, you did great, like your heart was in it, and like Don is just in the worst mood ever of just realizing this. And it's like,
My
dude, you're
ribs
dumb.
are broken, dude. What do you mean I got heart? I'm gonna piss blood. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, so did I.
and whose fault was that? Idiot.
Dummy.
Dummy, I told you.
Stupid little dum dum here laying in this hospital bed. I told you not to take the fight, little dummy. He's just looking back at the
And did you listen
nurses.
to me? No.
No, he's just pointing at him and just looks back to the nurses. Hey, who's this guy over here? Little dummy, that's who it is.
You know, I got this for you on the trip over from Philly. It's an L. Put that on your forehead, it'll last longer. It just dips. But no, honestly, just the raw emotion of both, man.
Yeah.
Were any of these movies nominated for anything? I mean, at
I mean,
least
it was nominated for best actor for Michael B. Jordan at the 2023 MTV Movie Awards.
Wow.
bruh. What do you classify the MTV Movie Awards as like being? It's like you could go to Five Guys, but instead you're gonna go to like get a Wendy's 4 for $4. Not even Wendy's is bad. No, that's like a BK like two for $4 deal. No,
Oh,
it's
never
like
mind.
getting Arby's. That's like the Arby's.
I was gonna
of
say
freaking
Arby's, but
of
like
the
I feel like
awards.
that's a bit harsh. Arby's is like the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards, like getting like an award from that.
That's insulting to the Kids' Choice Awards.
It's the lowest of the low of what you could get as an actor. It's like, imagine being like, I don't know, like Jack Black
Do you
or
think-
something, and
Do
be
you
like,
think Jack Black displays his Nick Choice Awards?
yeah,
Yes.
How many do you think he won by this point?
5. I'm gonna guess.
Do they still do Kids Choice Awards?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
they
No.
do actually. No,
Oh,
they
really?
do.
Or, like big events and everything?
Yeah.
What do they have as like nominations?
I don't know. Actually, I think we could probably vote for that right now.
Those listening right now,
never
go
too late.
vote.
Okay, back
Anyways.
to the movie. Cade, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Oh. As a moment in the movie, I liked the actual proposal between Adonis and Bianca. I like just the chemistry between those two characters, and I feel like both of them perform like almost verbatim how a couple who've been together like pretty fresh, like a few years would be in this like very important moment in both their lives of getting married. That said, my favorite shot though in the movie is near the end when Rocky is like, "It's your time now," and does like a fist pump with Adonis, and then the camera slowly turns as he sits down and you just see a silhouette with him having the jersey of Creed on it, just hearing like the crowd go wild after he had this big win. It's just cinema.
It really is, and honestly, like I'm just relieved that they ended on such a nice like on a definitive note. Like Sylvester doesn't need to come back for Creed 3, so I am relieved they ended on that note. Because if it was like, "I'll be in your corner any day, pal," and just him not showing up, it's like that would have been kind of janky. So I
Yeah,
am relieved they at least built that safeguard in mind just in case he couldn't come back.
yeah,
And like he's doing his own thing, you know? Like it's also so sweet for him to like finally reconnect with his family and everything.
oh
That's
yeah.
so nice. And
That scene, especially after watching Rocky Balboa, that scene hits harder.
Yeah, I think like
Really
that
does.
very small scene with them, like him and Robert in this one, to me hits harder than like anything in Rocky Balboa the movie.
Really.
I don't know.
Not
I need to really watch Rocky Balboa to like really feel that, because I know the big speech from Rocky Balboa that he gives to his son.
Yeah, I was about to say I think that still hits harder than in this moment.
I don't know. I guess I just gotta rewatch it.
It's good.
On the just Ivan and Victor's dilemma, like their chemistry
Uh,
in it.
I feel like they give us enough to
Yeah.
understand and care about them as characters. Like I personally like that we don't like overdo it with them too. Like I feel like we just see enough scenes with them to understand like what their conflict is in the movie and like.
I do. One thing I do appreciate actually that I realized is like this is kind of the first time where we see like the villain build themselves up to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like we already know like Apollo's already at the top during Rocky 2 and Rocky 1, like you know, he's the champion. Clubber Lang just kind of shows up and he does it like he doesn't like train for it or anything. He just shows up. It's like I'm going to kick your ass and he does. Like I came, I saw, I conquered. Ivan's like already built up as like the best weapon in Russia. And I don't know much about Tommy Gunn. I just know that like he trained, like Rocky tries to train him, and then he goes to that one guy who's based on the one boxing manager who's a giant piece of shit, and
Mm-hmm.
then they just like fight in a street fight at the end. But
Yeah.
I like this is the one where it's like it's kind of like Whiplash in Iron Man 2, like him building himself up to beat the protagonist on top. And I do kind of like how you show like he was really like when Ivan was built in a lab, like Victor is just built off the streets. Like he is in many ways the same as Adonis, like really just fighting in like lower like independent promotions and like kind of black market boxing rings. And like he just chases like Ivan who's just in like a shitty beat up car on the streets of Russia where everything's blue.
Mm-hmm.
And like
That's what
he
my
just
world
shows
looks
up
like.
one day and he's just like, I want to fucking beat the shit out of you. And he does it, and you see like what he's going through and like the pent up aggression that he has against Adonis, and adds just a little bit more of like I'm gonna take like everything from you and send a message.
Yeah.
And that does add to just like the fight eventually in the middle of like there is a storm coming,
Mm-hmm.
a storm of fists
Storm's
and
coming up,
fury.
Donnie. You better get home quick.
And actually, what's cool about that is that I feel like it retroactively makes Rocky 4 a little bit more meaningful now. I think
Yeah.
that, it's like
Yeah.
I think the best sequels can do that, where it's like you can take something from a previous installment that maybe like was kind of just very surface level, but then like give a bit more depth to it. So I thought that was really cool what this movie does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah, what are your do you guys want to talk about the full actual like fights in the movie?
I'm.
Cuz
I mean.
again, I just love the outclass of everything that like even like in the beginning of the fight you just show like Apollo just throws some punches. You could tell he's not really paying attention to his new trainer who is the trainer he tried getting in the first movie,
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
that they were going with. You could tell like even in the build up to it like that Donnie's just kind of going more through the motions. It doesn't have the emotional impact of a
Yeah.
typical training montage. It's like, yeah, look what I can do. He's more doing it for the
It
press.
looks like a Nike commercial.
Yeah, it's too corporate, doesn't have no soul in it. But yeah, he gets to the fight and he's doing that and it just does not do anything to Victor. He is unfazed.
Hmm.
And it's like just
Bro,
absolutely showing of like you're not on my level.
bro, pretty
I'm gonna
much.
kill you.
Yeah, bro pretty much got shoved into a locker.
Yeah. Oh my, it was so terrifying because you were just seeing someone get dismantled round by round.
Yeah.
Like in its 3 rounds of just like different eras of just how fucked up he's getting.
Hmm.
Who suffered?
Yeah, it's like
Go ahead.
it's like Adonis like basically like went into that fight like not like he didn't go equipped with like the skills he needed. It was just him going full head on with his ego. Like that
Yeah.
was like basically like what got him to like want to fight him at that point. Like it was just like more of just like the insult to injury kind of.
It was really like you have nothing to gain from this. You're just doing
Yeah.
this to like for your self identity of like what you think you should do,
Yeah.
rather than like having a reason to do it.
Yeah, but I mean that's like the thing that Rocky reiterates like multiple times in the movie. But like why are you doing this? Like why do you want to fight this dude specifically?
Yeah. Who do you think suffered the worst beatdown? Adonis after the first fight with Victor Drago, or Captain Knuckles with Bubby?
Oh,
Yo,
What are we,
Bubby's undefeated.
what are we
Yeah.
doing?
But yeah, and like just the fall from that, and like the slow rise of just them coming back together to like train. What do you guys think of the training montage compared to the first movies? Because I feel like it still gets it together, but I wish they build up more of like the training spot, because I feel like it just shows up.
Yeah, I kind of, I don't know, like the first go around, I did kind of feel that way, but watching it again the second time, I feel like, to me at least, I feel like they're just as good as the Mont. I mean, nothing beats the bikes in the in the first
Yeah,
movie,
dude.
but
Yeah,
like, I I think in their own right, like I still think that the montages in this movie still very much work for like what this movie needs to be.
Yeah, like it is just like there to serve a purpose and provide like a new location.
yeah.
For which it is good. I just feel like it's more of just a training montage just to have a training montage.
It feels odd that Rocky is the one that knows about this place. Like this
Yeah, it's
guy
like this
this
is
guy from
where
Philly who's like on the other side of the country knows about this, like it was kind of like John Wick 3 where they're in the middle of the desert for this, and it's just like feels so like out of left field for this character to just know about.
But yeah, it does get the point across. But I do appreciate how I think even before this, where Drago is gifted the new pair of trunks, like after Drago himself, and
Mm-hmm.
Victor is like, this is where he's meeting his family, his mom, who like he's never seen before, and it just kind of shows like Victor's ideology and like morals kind of being in the question of just like, why am I fighting for you guys? Like, why should I fight for y'all? You guys suck. And like and that's like the first point of conflict between the two. So I am happy they added that depth of like, I'm a villain, but I'm like, I still am realizing like this is kind of fucked. I don't want to have like the Russian way of doing things of just like, if you lose something, we will just disown you because you failed. It's like,
Hmm.
shit happens, bro. But and they carry that to the second fight, which this second fight is like fantastic. I feel like it's on level of the last fight from Rocky 1, the final fight from Creed 1, I mean to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a very good fight, very well directed, and
It is well directed because it is just like kind of the build up to like Donnie finally throwing that punch and just like changing the game. And it is nice to see like this is like a meltdown of a guy. This is
Yeah.
like Creed really working up to really like not only beat the guy, but like make it like make it like very like I beat him, like undecisive, a decisive victory.
mhm.
Like
Yeah,
just him steamrolling like from round 1 to round 10 is just an upward like facing momentum.
yeah, like
I'm done.
I really want to see uh Stephen Capel Jr. like take on another movie that's just like completely original on his own, because like it's really like all he's really done is just like, yeah, one original movie back in 2016, then he did this, and then he did the new Transformers from a couple years ago, and I think they're pretty well directed movies on their own, but like I really like I feel like I see the potential of him as a director, and like I really want to see him like take on something uh kind of bigger in a way, because like just based off of the different fights in this movie, I think he's more than capable of it.
Mm.
I will say with the fights, I can kind of get where you're coming from here, Seb. The only thing that makes me somewhat disagree with the final fights between Creed 1 and 2 is that there's a lot less blood in this second one. Like it doesn't feel like, yeah, you got like the sound effects of it, of like the ribs being crunchy and everything. Like there's that, but just like you don't really see like Adonis getting beaten up like hard. Like it looked like he took more of a beating with Pretty Ricky than with Victor Drago's son. Or yeah, Victor Drago's son. With Ivan Drago's son. Because of
Well, I
like
mean
the with like the eye being shut fully and all that. Like he looks very like a little worse for wear, but he's still like fighting. You know what I
well, it
mean?
is again meant to show like we got the beatdown like really bad in the first fight between the two. Like to
Yeah.
the point where he was like his eye was bleeding and like he had an orbital fracture and all of that. So I feel like with the second fight, this is here to show like I'm not gonna get my ass whooped. I'm not gonna look Like, I'm not
Right.
gonna look like I've been through a war compared to the first time around. And you still get the damage, but it's just lesser. And I feel like it's because he's focusing more on the body and the cracked rib. And
Yeah,
you do show
that's
it
true.
does show him like coughing out blood. So I feel like it's not supposed to be like have it has more stakes, but it's not supposed to be like a one-sided fight like the last time.
We're not seeing.
And I
Well,
feel like
even sorry. Go ahead.
and I feel like that's also getting reflected on Drago's face, which is slowly getting worse and worse over time to the point where he's starting to have like the closed eye.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just felt like something was missing from when we watched the first movie, where like we're literally getting like moments of like they punch, the other spits out blood in a bucket while they're sitting in the corner. Then there's another punch, and it's just like heavy blows, bam, 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 of just like constantly like showing that like this is taking a toll on both fighters like very much. Meanwhile,
I think from that standpoint, I do agree. I feel like there is a bit more of like pacing with the final fight in the first movie compared to this, because I feel like with the first knockout, it didn't have as much impact with it. Because I feel like it's not like he dropped him for a third time. It was literally just like literally clobbering him in the corner until the towel was thrown in. Because I feel like it wasn't like, if it was a decisive victory, I felt like that would have added a lot, which I feel like they would have gone for. But the whole point is to show that like Ivan, like I don't want my son to die. I want him to like be okay.
Yeah.
And like I don't want him to feel like he failed me. I want him to know like I failed him, or I said like you were done.
Yeah. And I like how the music also added to that idea, like within that scene, like when the fight's over, because like it plays like the usual leitmotif that usually plays at the end of these movies, where it's like the
Yeah, like Flying High.
But it was like a half step down. Like I'm not a music theorist. I don't know anything about music, but I think like the way it was written, it was like a half step down. So it was kind of like it had like more of like a bittersweet like sound to it, because it's like, yeah, like Adonis won the fight, but like there's kind of like that feeling of like, oh, like, but like Victor had to go through all that just for just for those people to leave the match anyway, and like it was just like yeah, like just like that overall feeling of like yeah, it's a victory for Adonis, but like it kind of the circumstances that both of them had to get to that point just like kind of suck.
Yeah. I also wanna mention something. This is more generally than like the actual movie itself. But as we were watching the final fight, and like in that moment where like as you mentioned, Derek, where Adonis gets up and starts playing the Rocky theme of like this triumphant moment, it's like kind of like it's very much an homage to the first movie where it does something similar. In my opinion, the first movie did it better, but I digress. But I realized with the softer version of it that like plays near the end of the movie when like Rocky sees his son again. Is it me, or did 2015 start the trend where that's in trailers constantly?
No, 2015 did start the trend.
The trend where it's just the soft instrumental of the main theme, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Just like building it off with a piano at first, like to get you like hooked in, because I feel like it started with Jurassic World.
I think it started with Force Awakens.
It did start with Force Awakens.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Da, da,
I don't know, like Jurassic World came like before, right? Like 2014, and that was
2015.
Same year. Yeah, no, same year.
Same year. Oh man.
Yeah, 2015 was the year of legacy sequels like really coming back here.
Yep.
It's like, see, we're gonna pay homage, but we're gonna be slightly different because we're gonna play it on a piano.
And it's crazy how one of them's like a almost full-on masterpiece of a film. One's just a really good Star Wars film, and the other one's okay. Not great, but okay.
Chris Pratt, the movie.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt with dinosaurs.
Growing up.
Yeah. And then wasn't Furious 7 also this year? Or also that year? Or no?
I think so.
Because I remember that was a big
15.
one.
It was around that time.
Yeah, like this is when like
talking about Fury Road.
No, Fast and Furious 7.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's like when like especially when like
I don't
the
think that counts as a legacy
no
sequel.
no
They've
no,
been
but
pumping
I'm
those out for years.
no, but I mean like the more like somber instrumental version of the main like theme or whatever, or like a more
Yeah.
somber type feeling, which rightfully so for that movie. But like even in James Bond in like one of the like later sequel trailers, it's like bum 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 bum. Oh no, that's Mission Impossible I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Mission Impossible definitely did that.
The Dead Reckoning. Even though that trailer, that first Dead Reckoning trailer, is some of the best, like probably one of the best ones I've ever seen, in my opinion. It still has that
Yes, no,
problem.
I agree, man. I
It's
just love how
Um,
it's even been doing with Ghostbusters. I'm pretty sure it's like
they
everything
did
does
do
that.
it
yeah,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
I'm pretty sure they did
Oh
it with
my god.
Ghostbusters 2016 like
Okay,
I was
guys.
thinking more like Afterlife.
or Afterlife. Yeah,
So,
that too.
okay, what ending do you think was better to the movies? Creed 1 or Creed 2? I think
I
it's close, but I think Creed 2 does better.
Yeah,
Of just like with just like
it's
how it's shot and just the emotion of it. But Creed 1 is fantastic, but it's just two different emotions to feel of just like Rocky going back to where it all started, and then like in Creed 2 you get Donnie going to the grave of Apollo, which is so
yeah.
sweet.
I'd probably have to give the
So,
edge to Creed 2 there.
and and you also just get the added like symbolism of like this is Creed's story now of Rocky probably of just leaving it more in the past, going to focus on his family, which is so sweet of like him running into his son and his grandson, which is again really sweet. And yeah, like both of them have such emotion tied to them, but I think Creed 2 has a bit more variety in the emotion of like what you feel and just a
mhm.
feel good moment for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then you get amazing post credits for Creed 2 of just like the credit sequence of just how it's not post credits, but just
Oh, I
the
thought you
credit
meant like
sequence.
I thought you
The
meant like the joke I made about like the Avengers Initiative.
Creed will return in Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah,
Don't
it,
question why he's Killmonger. Why he's not
no,
Killmonger.
if anything, if Michael B. Jordan returns to the MCU, he's gonna come back as a Human Torch variant.
Oh no.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna bring back Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. And that's it. Those are the only ones that people
But
remember.
so guys, any closing thoughts to give?
Watch these movies. The Rocky franchise is still one of the best franchises. Just like consistently, it's consistently very emotional films, but there are some in there that are a little goofy, as some long-running franchises have.
I feel like this one still takes it like as serious as you could possibly take
Right.
it.
This isn't one of those. I'm more referring to 3, 4, and 5, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly, after watching this movie, it makes me want to watch Creed 3.
Did you watch Creed 3?
I've never seen it, because
Neither have I.
it was during
That's
that
good.
year. Yeah, it was during that year of like when Jonathan Majors was gonna be in everything, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Kang. He's gonna
be the next big thing, and then
he's gonna be the next big thing," and then
he shat on his career.
yeah,
I'm still pissed of how the MCU handled Council of Kang, because he is literally it could have been the easiest save ever, the easiest layup to reconsider like casting him. You could recast him. There are multiple variants,
How
but they just
much-
had to make it so like all of them look like him.
how much do you want to bet Nathaniel Richards is gonna age up when they go through like a time hole into the MCU at the end of the Fantastic Four? Because he's in the movie. The baby, Sue and Reed have a baby, and they could just age him up by having him go through a time warp or whatever, and make him like, whatever, be the new Kang.
Uh,
Nope,
I
nope.
mean-
They could do it. They could.
they could.
There's a non-0% chance that this could happen.
0 would be
Creed
nice.
2.
0
2.
would be nice. Yeah.
Creed 2, very solid movie. I feel like this is probably gonna lie at like a 9, when my opinion on Creed is probably a 10 out of 10.
That's fair.
I really liked the first Creed movie. I feel like
Mhm.
Creed 2 is really good. I just feel like it's maybe
This-
it needs a bit more room between both viewings so I could really feel the impact, because for this I was
Yeah.
unfairly comparing it to the first movie, which had so much emotion behind it.
This is
I mean,
a
so
solid,
was I first time around, so
Yeah.
I feel you there.
this is a solid
Yeah.
4-star movie for me.
It's still like a really
Me-
fantastic movie.
Meanwhile, the Creed movie, I can almost convince myself to make it a 5-star movie. But yeah. Yeah, thank you all for... Is there anything other final thoughts, actually, before I do this outro?
None
No?
of Jonathan Major, 0 out of 10.
Aww. I am king! Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for listening to us. I'm sorry we got a bit off the rails there, but yeah, you can't blame us here. It's a weird situation. But yeah, like and subscribe if you're listening to us on YouTube. Give us 5 stars on whatever audio platform you're listening to us. Follow us on our socials: Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, all that jazz. Check us out on Patreon, and if you haven't already, we got a whole back catalog of previous episodes without any ads, and I'm trying to think what else, and also maybe some bonus content here and there. But yeah, that was our review for Creed and Creed 2. Thank you.